Yo, what is up guys, it's Pedro here, and in today's video, I'll be talking about everything that Adam Peters said during his press conference today at the NFL Combine, including things he said about Jonathan Allen, a possible trade, maybe he sticks around, also talking about a Sam Cosmi injury update, Marshon Lattimore, and so many other interesting nuggets, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. Subscribe if you want to, subscribe if you don't, you're going to be missing out content though. Great Commanders content if you don't. Hit that like button, notification bell as well. Let's get right into it, no BS. So the big news from today, and this will segue into the Adam Peters press conference, is that John Allen has been granted permission to seek a trade. And, you can read the rest that Keim said here, but that happened. And Adam Peters talked about it during the press conference, and he answered questions about it. He said that was true. I'm sure they wanted to, bring that up, before the press conference, like kind of make it known that they were going to do that before the press conference. So that is what they did. Adam Peters says he'll meet with John Allen's agent in Indy later this week. Peters says everything is still on the table with Allen. So whether that is a trade, whether that is a release, whether that is a restructure, and he still sticks around, there's a bunch of different possibilities for John Allen and the Washington Commanders. I don't know. I was seeing some reports that it could just be a cut with him. They could just release him because maybe someone doesn't want to, give up capital and pay him. I don't know. I would rather not release him though, and potentially restructure. If you can't trade him, I think trading him would be a good option. If you can get a 4th, 3rd round pick, even a 5th round pick, you're getting an asset for a guy that's aging, and he is a $16 million cap hit. So if you can get something for him, I think that's good. If not, I would try to restructure, get that cap hit a little bit lower, and keep him for the final year of his contract. Other news, Martin Mayhew has decided to retire. And then back to the John Allen news. We'll talk about Mayhew later, but I just wanted to put that out there. Allen, his agent, is going to be here later this week. Peters talked about how he's one of the better, he's a really good agent. So it seems like they have a good relationship. They'll talk about things, and that's what happens at the, combine. GMs talk to each other, GMs and agents talk. So a lot of rumors start to float around. The John Allen thing is something to watch out for. Not a shock at all. We've talked about this, for a minute, at least on this channel we have, and I know a lot of other reporters, Commanders creators on YouTube as well have talked about it. So I think it's likely he's gone. Once you hear about it, it's likely he's gone, and it well likely could be a release for John Allen, which I wouldn't be the biggest fan of, but it does create a lot of cap space. All that matters is what's really important is what you do with that cap space. So $16 million that you save, what do you do with that to replace John Allen, and what do you do with the other money? Because you're probably not going to spend it all on a D tackle. But there's the Cowboys guy that's really good. I think Osao. Both. I'm pretty sure both first and last names start with an O. Lattimore, so he's asked about Lattimore, his confidence in him, and he said his confidence in Lattimore is really high. Said at the end of the season he felt Lattimore came into a tough situation with a trade at his hamstring injury, and that's basically what he said. I watched most of the press conference, and he did say that it was a tough situation for Lattimore to come into, new defense, also just injured. For a cornerback especially, that's not very easy to do. Like a D end, you can get traded middle of the season, have a good year. Running back, kind of the same thing. And, because a lot of the teams have a lot of, similar run plays. And then, even like D tackle too. But some of the other positions is much harder for you to, be successful right away. And that's possible with Marshon Lattimore learning the defense and stuff. But it is what it is. We'll see. I think he's going to be on the roster this year, though, and big year for him, though. He's under contract for, I believe, this year and the next year. So if he wants to continue and stay here and maybe get a new deal, he's got to ball out. So let's hope he does so. We gave up some assets for him, so definitely want to see what he can do. Adam Peters says it's great to have a quarterback here going into the combine. Andrew Berry, the Browns GM, talked today, said that he's not trying to trade Myles Garrett. So we'll put the brakes on that for a little bit, but just because he's saying he's not trying to trade him doesn't mean he won't. He's just saying that for now. That's his intention, or that's what he's saying, maybe trying to, get that trade value a little bit up. Because if he's not trading him, but, maybe he's like, all right, if I say no, but maybe that incentivizes the team to offer something that I can't refuse. And that's kind of my take on the situation there. We'll read some other things from JP Finley. Martin Mayhew, like I said, he retired. Adam Peters praised him. They had a good connection, had a good connection. Obviously worked together in, San Francisco, worked together here in DC. And Martin Mayhew's gone, Ron Rivera's gone, and Marty Herney's gone. So all that is gone. All those guys are gone from the previous regime. A lot of them were good guys, but it just didn't work out here in DC. So it's good to see all those guys are not here right now, and we have a totally new front office and regime. I might make a separate video about this, but Sam Cosmi is already back at the facility rehabbing. He's hungry. Just because he got that money, he got that contract, doesn't mean he's gonna, sit back and relax. He's rehabbing. He's trying to get back. And he already had that surgery, I believe, like 2 weeks-ish ago, around the Super Bowl, maybe a little bit before. So, good to see he's already back rehabbing. Maybe he'll be back by the start of the season. I doubt it, though. Offensive lineman, bigger guy. It's just harder for those guys to get back right away. But, I think, just watch out for that. And, that's something we'll continue to, think about the rest of the offseason. And then Adam Peters didn't really talk about an extension for Terry, but he, mentioned how much they value him, and they're going to keep the discussions in-house, and that's how you should do it. And I think Terry's going to get an extension. I would be very surprised if he isn't. I believe he is in the last year of his deal, so I would be very surprised if they don't end up, coming to terms, agree to terms on a extension for Terry McLaurin, which will likely lower the cap hit, which is $25 million this year. So that'll likely lower the cap hit to, around 15. Obviously down the line it'll be more, but when you do extensions, you can usually, bring the price down of the contract. And I'm trying to think of any other things from, this press conference. Let me go to Khan, but basically, we went over the biggest things, and, the biggest thing I was, talking about was the John Allen thing, and how, Adam Peters said everything is on the table. So, could get cut, still could be on the team. Pete Carroll a lot of people talked today. I believe tomorrow is Dan Quinn and Lance Newmark. So that will be good to see as well. I mean, I don't think we'll get a lot of nuggets from Dan Quinn, maybe some from Lance Newmark, but the Adam Peters one is the big one. He also talked about free agency and how, they're going to be active on, in free agency because they have to. They have, I guess that's the exact quote here. I was just speaking from memory, but this is the exact quote. They have 28 unrestricted free agents. So that's a lot of guys that, that they're possibly losing that they're going to try to bring back. And we'll see who ends up coming back. I would expect Bobby Wagner, Jeremy Chin, Zach Ertz, guys like that to come back. And then, Noah Igbenogany is a possibility. Maybe they want to bring back Jeremy McNichols, maybe Michael Dieter. Like, there's a bunch of those type of, backups-ish that, maybe they want to bring back. Benjamin St. Juste is a free agent. I wouldn't bring him back, but, he's one of those 28. So just a lot of things to think about for the Commanders. And Adam Peters talked about a lot today. Nothing crazy. Just, I would say, him reiterating, or not reiterating because he didn't say it before, but him saying that John Allen, everything's on the table, I think is important to keep in mind, because there is a possibility that they keep him around for the next year and they maybe come to terms on an extension, and like a small time extension that maybe brings the value down or of the contract, or they just restructure the deal, give him some guaranteed money, because he doesn't have guaranteed money now, so you can give him some guaranteed money and also lower that cap hit. Because, he did play well in the playoffs, I believe. He just, he was hurt during the regular season the year before, wasn't doing so well. So, he is maybe not, he's not the same player necessarily he was a few years ago. Maybe he can get back to that, but I would not mind, restructuring him, keeping him around. But if you can get a 3rd round pick, by all means, go ahead and do that. Even a 4th round pick. I would prefer draft capital in next year's class because this year's class is not supposed to be very good. So if you can get some draft capital next year, go ahead and do that and continue to build up those assets. They have, some assets this year. They got to pick 1st, 2nd, 3rd round. And then they have 3 in the 7th. I forgot the complete breakdown. I don't think they have one in the 6th. And I think they have one in the 4th, maybe not the 5th. But that's the whole situation there. But yeah, that is pretty much it for the video. If you did stay till the end, go ahead and comment down below. Tim Settle, one of my favorite guys, was a good player for the Redskins here, and hokey as well. But yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoy it, and peace.